Ohio State and Michigan fans, please stop! Or, you know what? Don't stop, because it gives us endless stupid things to analyze based on all the dumb things that you throw out there on social media. Welcome to the Voice of College Football. We break down the game we all love each and every day with you, or in this case, we break down stupid social media posts that seem to gain a lot of attention because we would like to talk about football, but most of you would like to talk about stupidity. So we will join in today because it's Ohio State and Michigan, because it's all over the place. So this is a reality check for you Ohio State fans first and foremost. There are actually Michigan players who get drafted into the NFL. They are that good. They get drafted by NFL teams and they start for NFL teams, and they actually are really good players. Some of them star players in the NFL. Some of them are historic and legendary players in the NFL. Sorry, we have to admit to that. Michigan fans, not every Ohio State player that goes on to the NFL, which there are more Ohio State players than Michigan players. That's just a fact. There always are. They just have better players and more talented players that go to the NFL. Michigan fans should just realize that. That's fine. Doesn't mean that you win the games at the college level, as has been proven the last 3 years. But Ohio State sends more players to the NFL. Not a ton more, but more players to the NFL. And you know what? Some of those guys are complete busts. But others are really good players, star players, and yes, Hall of Fame legendary players. So here is the reality. Both are great schools with great football programs that produce great players, and players that just earn an NFL paycheck or maybe don't earn an NFL paycheck. So I will show you the post. We could probably find hundreds of these. You could probably do something in the comments section here and send me links to more of these type of posts, because we had players from Ohio State, players from Michigan that participated in the NFL playoffs and in Sunday's conference championship games. And so this one in particular of Aiden Hutchinson, who I don't know that this Ohio State fan wants to be reminded of what Aiden Hutchinson did to CJ Stroud in the Ohio State offensive line 2 years ago, but he is rather full of himself on what Aiden Hutchinson apparently did not do in the conference championship game against San Francisco, in which he was shut out of the box score. So we've got this intellectual here, Maine Enthusiast, who says, "Did this dude even play tonight? Don't see him anywhere in the stat sheet." Then he follows up by showing us that Aiden Hutchinson, of course, did play the game, but he did not show up in the stat sheet. He did not record any statistics, meaning he had a bad game. I'm going to take it from that he had a bad game. I watched the game. I don't remember seeing Aiden Hutchinson do anything, but at the same time, we don't know what the analysis would be concerning watching the game film to see whether he was double-teamed, triple-teamed, anything like that. But it's fairly obvious to see that he did not have a good game. Okay. On the flip side, however, ironically, another defensive end, former Ohio State star Chase Young, did not have a good game. I didn't even know that he was playing for the 49ers. The last I remember, he was with the Washington football team. But he apparently had a horrendous game and was benched in the second half, possibly, according to this guy, because he was not hustling after plays. And in one particular Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown run was seen in a championship game loafing it. I love this rebuttal from this Charlie Roosevelt, who says, "Hopefully one day you'll be able to cheer for your team winning instead of anyone within 7 degrees of separation from Michigan losing. Not today, but hopefully soon." Yes, they embarrassed Ohio State 3 years in a row. Well, they didn't embarrass Ohio State 3 years in a row, but whatever. They won the games. Yes, the final loss was to an interim coach. We get it. Let it out. And the trolling continues with Maine Enthusiast. What does that have to do with this? Well, it has everything to do with this, actually, because you were pointing out that a Michigan player is not performing in the NFL, which Aiden Hutchinson, of course, had 11 and a half sacks this past season. So he's a really good player in the NFL. So this knucklehead Maine enthusiast, what does it have to do with it? You are starting the argument. You are starting the debate. You are initiating this exchange, you moron. Yes, it has everything to do with it. And follows up by saying Michigan fans in the replies hurt AF defending the guy with 0 tackles. Well, of course they are. He had a bad game, apparently, but he's a tremendous player who's had 2 excellent seasons. But he must have had a poor NFC Championship game. And Maine enthusiast is making a big deal about Chase Young having 3 tackles to Aiden Hutchinson's 0. There we get it from Maine enthusiast. He admits here. Trent Williams, who was matched up against Hutchinson, a very good left tackle. George Kittle, tight end, also a very good blocker, put him on his ass. Just an off night, but I have to troll. And then Michigan fan KYJ coming back with Buckeye fans loving 3 degrees from separation. Don OHIO coming back with this gem, which I get it, Don. Doesn't play as well when he doesn't know the plays. Well, he's done pretty well in Detroit for 2 seasons. And the punches and counter punches continue. And here are some of my favorite responses. Is there a stat sheet for awful face paint? If so, he leads the league. Ohio State fans' obsession is getting strange. It is. It's always been strange. That's college football. It's funny, Ohio State fans trying to talk trash on a guy who had an amazing season, helping his team get almost to a Super Bowl when they got destroyed by him a season ago. And then this season got embarrassed by Missouri and Michigan again. I can't wait for excuses again. The term embarrassment needs to be defined for these people. I always thought the term they broke them or he broke them or they broke him. I always thought that was really stupid. I don't use it. But you know what? I'm going to use it right now because you know what, College Football Nation? You broke the voice of college football. You broke us today. You broke us. You brought us to the depths of absurdity and had us grovel with everybody else because it's apparent you don't want to see great analysis, great debate, great discussion, great conversation. That's not what you're into. That's what you're into. Not all of you. Some of you are class acts, but many of you, that's what you're into. So we will figure out a way to continue to be relevant here at the Voice of College Football and do appreciate all of you stopping by, Ohio State and Michigan fans, especially, not especially all the time, just especially right now, because you two just don't give up.